Stampers, this is Dawn from DawnStampingThoughts.net, and today we're going to make this card. It opens up like this. Surprise! It's a birthday card. The idea came from Dee Slater. She's one of my glitter queens, and she had made a card similar to this, and I loved it. So we're going to go ahead and make it today. So let's go ahead and get started. Okay, so this is a piece of the Tempting Turquoise, and this is cut at 8.5 by 8.5. Then you're going to need a piece of Whisper White. This is cut at 4 by 4. And then you're going to need either 2 or 4 panels. And what I'm talking about here are these panels right here. So you can use 2, but I went ahead and did 4, so I did the inside too. So just depending on whatever you want to do. I'm going to cut 4 of the Whisper White, and these are cut at 1 7/8 by 4. And then the designer paper is cut at 1 3/4 by 3 3/4. And you're going to either need 2 or 4 of each. Okay, so let's go ahead and grab our paper trimmer. Okay, so since this is an 8.5 by 8.5 square, we're going to first score at 2 1/8 on both sides. So score here, 2 1/8, and then you're going to turn it 2 1/8. Okay, so both of these are scored. Now you're going to turn it so it's scoring it in half at 4 1/4 on the opposite side. Okay, so let me fold this here so you can see what I'm talking about. And you'll also want to make sure that your lines line up in the center like that. And then this is the half mark. This is the 4 1/4 inch. Okay? Okay, so now we're going to go ahead and trim off these 2 squares here, or rectangles. So now when you fold this quarter piece, this 4 1/4 piece over, you want to make sure that it folds over when these panels are closed. Okay, so and if it doesn't, you might want to trim the edge off, which you can see here. I need to trim a little bit more off so that bends over. Okay. So let's see here now. Yep, so it closes up. Alright, so now let's go ahead and grab our Big Shot. Okay, so I'm going to use the Label Collection and the Framelits today. We're going to use the number 4 and the number 3 and the number 2 from the center. Okay, so we're going to use the largest one, the number 4. And the trick here, we're going to make this label be attached to the card by keeping the framelit just below the 4 1/4 inch score line. Okay, I hope that shows up in the video. So I'm just going to move that over so just a little tiny bit is still connected to the card. And of course you want to make sure it's kind of centered in the card. Just like that. Alright, so now here's the trick. You're going to put your second acrylic on top, and you're just going to layer it right up to that score line. So you're not going to cut it, but see how that's overhanging there? Let me move this up here. See how that's overhanging? So right where the acrylic ends, your cutting will end also. Okay, so then you're just going to want to fold these in when you get closer to that. Okay, so go ahead and run that through the Big Shot. Okay. Through, let me show you here. So then this is the part that we're going to cut away. Alright, so we're going to cut the next size, which is the number 3. We're going to cut out 2 of these pieces here with the designer paper. Cut 2 of these, and then you're going to also cut 2 of the Whisper White with the smaller size. Okay, so we have our 2 pieces of Whisper White, and then we also have our 2 pieces of the designer paper. And then we're going to go ahead and trim off this little flap here. And all I'm going to do is I'm just going to cut on that score line, right up to that cut right there. So I'm going to turn it over here. Actually cut it from this side. Okay, so then there's your flap. Isn't that cute? Then this flaps over like that. Alright, so now let's go ahead and decorate it. I went ahead already and added our designer paper to the Whisper White piece for the panels. And now all I have to do here is I'm just going to decorate the front of the little flap. And I'm going to add the designer paper first. And then the Whisper White piece. Okay. And then we'll add the panels. Okay, so now we're going to go ahead and do some stamping. And I went ahead already and stamped the happy birthday, and then I just stamped that on Whisper White, and then I took the 1-inch square punch and I flagged the ends, and that's just going to go on the front. Okay, so we're going to use the Whisper White piece for the inside. This is the 4x4, and we're also using the Sale-a-Bration item Big Day stamp set. And we're going to use the Tempting Turquoise Classic ink. And I already have the images on the stamp, and what I did is I put Celebrate Your Big Day with Cake, and then I also added, and perhaps a little ice cream, I added that to the very bottom of my block. These are 2 separate images, but I can stamp them all at once at the same time. So let's go ahead and do that. Okay, and then for the cake, let me get that out. I have the birthday cake. We're going to stamp this onto the Whisper White piece that's going to go up on the top of the card. Whoops. And this is going to go up on top, right here. And then this is going to go on the inside. Right there. Okay, one more step. We're going to add some dazzling diamonds. Okay, so for the outside, we're going to highlight the birthday with the 2-way glue pen. Take the glitter. So pretty. Alright, then we're just going to dot the cake, little pedestal. And then over here I'm just going to color in the Celebrate banner and then highlight the word cake. And that's about it for that. Isn't that cute? Oh my gosh, I love this card. It's so cute. Alright, so now let me show you one that I really kind of went overboard on decorating. So here's one. I love this card. Now I did mine just like Dee. And what I used was the flower medallion punch. This punch right here. And then I also used the window framelits like Dee did in her video, and this is what that one looked like. Same idea, you want to use the framelits with your Big Shot and just so it's still attached. And then I used the stamp set called Petal Potpourri. It matches the flower medallion punch. And then I also added these little embellishments. They're so beautiful. I just added those to the center of the flowers. So let me show you what this, oh, and the designer paper is called Something Borrowed, and it's in the Occasions catalog. And then You Are Amazingly Amazing is from the Painted Petals stamp set. And then this one also has a belly band. Now my belly band is cut at 1 inch by 9.5, and it's using the Something Borrowed designer paper. And then here's the inside. It just looks so much like a wedding card or a, I don't know, it's just like a Mother's Day maybe even card. It's so pretty. Dainty with that lace designer paper. Okay, so there's that one, and then here's the other one. The other birthday card. Okay, thanks for stopping by, and we'll see you later. Bye!